Hi and welcome to practice. My name is Valentina, and in this video I will guide you through a MediYoga practice to support our digestive system. So when we think about the digestive system, we of course think about the physical aspect of digesting food in the body and processing it. In a more energetic sense, when we tune into the chakra system, we also know that it's about digesting emotions, digesting information, but also the energetic field, so all the information that we receive on a constant basis around us. With the chakras, these have a special link to the third eye. So the Ajna center, we have the third center of Manipura and the sixth center of Ajna. And with the West, we will call this the gut-brain axis, where we can really see how close these two work together. And meaning that if we are struggling with imbalances in the third center, will probably be expressed through the mind as well. If you have a sluggish digestive system, you might experience brain fog. You might struggle with what to hold on to, what to release when it comes to the mental activity. If we have an overactive, that might mean that everything is kind of rushing through your mind. The mind is overactive as well. And that's true also for our emotions and the energetic field that we have around us. So through this practice, you might feel the benefits physically, but you also might receive benefits far beyond that, where you feel more clarity of mind, where you feel lighter in your energy or even clearer in your emotions. Now, as we prepare to begin, you might want to have a block or a bolster, maybe 2 blocks, a bolster throughout the practice. If that's not available to you, grab a hold of a blanket or a thick pillow, something that gives you a little bit of height. And we will begin by just finding a comfortable seat to arrive and land on the mat. So take a moment. You might sit cross-legged, you might sit on your heels. You might again use any support under you, blocks, bolsters, or pillow. Now as you arrive in your seat, close your eyes. Take a moment to soften into the sit bones. Feel the hips relax. With the breath in, lift the crown of your head a little bit taller. And as you sigh out, allow the spine to keep a natural curve. So we're relaxed yet alert. And then guide your focus to the breath. Start to gently deepen the breath down into your lower belly. Feel your belly expand. And when the belly feels full, continue to fill up through the ribs and into your chest. Softly releasing the exhale, passively. Deep breath in from the belly, through the ribs, up into the collarbones. And soft breath out. And as you continue to breathe just like this, tune into the sensation that occurs at the end of your exhalation. So noticing that moment at the end of the exhale, where everything is still. When the body is asking for air, you simply take a deep breath in and a soft exhale. Returning to the stillness at the end of the exhale, the pause in between the breaths. In this pause between the breaths, notice that nothing is asked of you. Not even your body is asking for air. A few more rounds just like this. Take one more deep breath in. And as you reach the top of that breath, hold your breath. And without squeezing it, can you allow the breath to rest at the top, softening through the shoulders? And then release with a sigh out through the mouth. Return to a natural flow of breath. And just notice for a moment the way the breath is moving through the body naturally. Bring your inner focus into the heart center, the space around your physical heart, in your chest. Notice your breath expand and soften through this space. Guide your hands to heart center in prayer, palms together, thumbs touching your heart. And take a moment to set an intention for this practice. And this might be to stay with your breath, to keep an open mind, or something more personal to you. Allow your intention to anchor into the heart center. And we will tone in chanting 3 rounds of Om Namo Gurudev Namo. A deep breath in through the nose. A sigh out through the mouth. And breathe in to begin. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Let your hands land down, pause for a moment. As we prepare to continue, we will continue cross-legged. So if you feel like you need a little bit of a stretch to shake the legs out, just go ahead and do that. And as you find your way back to a cross-legged seat, I invite you to stay on your mat with your sit bones, so removing any support that you have beneath you. And let your hands land to your knees. Now, I'm going to mirror the direction for you. So with your breath in, I want you to lean into the left sit bone and make a half circle forward to the right. With your exhale, you round the lower back and you circle to the left. So breathing in, coming forward and to the right, and exhale, rounding from the right to the left. Now when you feel you understand the movement, again, close your eyes. And allow your own breath to guide your pace. Continuing with a long and deep breath. Follow your breath in forward and the breath out to the back. Now to let our mind or help our mind focus, we will invite a mantra that we use throughout this practice. So quietly to yourself with your breath in, think Sat, S-A-T, and with the breath out, Nam, N-A-M. Sat as you breathe in, Nam with the exhalation. Whenever the mind drifts, just gently guide it back to focus on the mantra. Preparing to change our direction. When you reach the end of your next exhalation, breathing in, leaning into the right sit bone, and make a half circle forward to the left. Exhale, rounding and circling towards the right. Come back to the mantra. Sat Nam is translated as I am truth, or truth is my name. And when we repeat this mantra, we are not only helping the conscious mind to focus, but also aligning the subconscious mind to the vibration of Sat Nam, I am truth. Notice if you're rushing the movement. Let your long, deep breath guide you. Simply follow. A few more breaths. Now at the end of your exhale, come back to a neutral spine and center. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your nose completely. And at the end of that exhale, hold the breath out of the body. As you hold the breath out, find your pelvic floor lifting, Mula Bandha. Lift up through the pelvic floor. Let your lower belly suck in. And with your gaze closed, you lift your inner gaze up to the third eye. Keep holding. And release the bandha. Breathe in. Pause for a moment in stillness. If you like, you can lay down or you can stay seated. Moving the legs if they ask you to. I invite you to take a moment to tune in and just feel the effects of these movements we've just done. Noticing the waves and the tingles within the body. Maybe a slight heat rising. And as we prepare to move through the next kriya, you can gently start to open your eyes. Now for our next practice, we're going to stay in a static shape, but also use the breath of Kapalbhati, so the breath of fire, or one of the breath of fires. So Kapalbhati is a forceful exhale through our nose while we're pumping the navel towards the spine. And one way I like to get to know this breath is to stick the tongue out and pant like a dog. Now when we do that, we notice that the belly moves in with our exhalation. And it's the same movement we do with the breath, but with our mouth closed and in and out through the nose. And more importantly than finding a rapid speed of this breath is to find a rhythm that you can connect to and maintain. Now, if you ever feel lightheaded, dizzy, or feel like you need a break from that breath, you can always pause and take a few deep breaths. And if you feel ready to come back to Kapalbhati, you do that, okay? So one way that this might look, just to demonstrate the breath for a moment, I always start by taking a deep breath in, a sigh out, and then breathe in to begin with the exhale. And again, if that feels too rapid for you, you can go a lot slower. We have a complete focus on the exhalation. The breath in is passive, so simply focus on the exhale, pumping your navel to the spine as you exhale, and let the breath in be passive. All right. What we're going to do is come into a squat position, and if this doesn't feel comfortable for you, this is the time to use your support. So it might be, if your heels are lifted, that you use your bolster or your blanket under your heels for support. If you're all the way up here, maybe you even have blocks to support you to find more softness in this shape, or more comfort in this shape. If you feel comfortable simply staying on the mat, then go ahead and do so. We want to find a place where we find length through the spine. So notice if you need support to make that happen, just go ahead and grab some support. Now our knees want to be kind of in line with our armpits. So instead of bringing the elbows to the inside of your knees, they're going to rest above the knees. And then we're going to bring the hands to Kali Mudra, which means interlacing all of our fingers and letting the index fingers come together and point up. If you're a woman, the left thumb will be over the right. If for men, the right thumb will be over the left. Again, find a bit more length. Lift through the crown of your head. So notice if you're lifting the chin, tuck it slightly in, let the crown lift up. Find length through the spine. Take a deep breath in through your nose. A sigh out through the mouth. And prepare to begin with your exhale, Kapalbhati. Now, as you find your rhythm, again, might be faster, might be slower than what I am demonstrating. Let your gaze close. And if it helps you, bring back the mantra, Sat Nam. Sat with your breath in, Nam with the exhale. We're about halfway through. Keep going. Thirty seconds to go. Now take a deep breath in, hold your breath at the top. And as you hold your breath, apply Mula Bandha. Lift your pelvic floor, let the lower belly move in, lift your inner gaze to the third eye. Release the bandhas, exhale completely, hold the breath out of the body at the end of the exhale, and again find Mula Bandha. Pelvic floor lifting, lower belly sucks in, gaze up to the third eye. Keep holding. And release, breathe in. Now soften with your exhale, come sitting down or even laying down again if you prefer. So allowing your body to rest and integrate for a moment. It might feel great to take a deep breath in and a big sigh out. And with your eyes still closed, listening to the effects. When we breathe Kapalbhati, we are increasing circulation throughout the whole body, stimulate the digestive system. We promote or benefit detoxification. We support detoxification of the body. We also increase gamma waves in the brain, which helps us to feel more present and focused. A few more breaths wherever you're resting at this moment. Take a few centering breaths. If you are laying down, you can start to find your way back up. And as we find our way up to a seat, we're going to start by stretching out the left leg. So again, I'm mirroring you. Keep the right leg to your groin. So bend the right knee, keep it to the groin. And if the right knee is lifted, you can always use support, block, bolster, pillow under that knee for support. And as we are here, we're going to let the hands land to each side of the extended leg. We take a deep breath in. We exhale and twist the body gently towards the left. And with an exhale, we start to fold forward. And you can keep a rounding in the spine here. It's just allowing the body to soften over the left leg. Aim the crown of your head towards the knee. And if this feels really challenging, you can always use support. Maybe that's 2 blocks resting under the forehead. Notice how your breath is behaving. So if it's really short and restricted, then you'll back up to find a full breath and allow the body to soften into the shape with an exhale. With your eyes closed, return to the breath and the mantra. Deep breath in, Sa. Soft breath out, Nam. We're staying for a bit longer. Just keep coming back to the breath. Come back to the mantra. Prepare to lift up gently with the breath in, starting to walk yourself up to a long spine. And just a gentle counter twist to the right. Simply let your body peek over to the right for a moment. Stretch out the right leg and bend the left knee. Hands to each side of the right leg. A deep breath in, lengthening. Exhale, twisting towards the right. And then finding your forward fold here again. Tune into the breath. Stay with a deep, long breath. Stay with the mantra. Sat, Nam. Just a bit longer. Sat, Nam. And with the breath in, softly lift up and walk yourself to a gentle counter twist to the left. Exhale back to center. Come back to Sukhasana, cross-legged. Take a deep breath in. A full breath out. Hold your breath out. At the end of the exhale, apply Mula Bandha. Lift up through your body, gaze to the third eye. Keep holding. And release, breathe in. Take a moment in stillness. And again, you can always choose to lay down as you rest in between the movements that we do. Or you can stay seated, softening into the experience. And simply holding space for the experience to be as it is, without any judgment. Take a few centering breaths. And when you feel ready, you can open to a gaze. And now we're going to find our way to hands and knees to prepare for a triangle shape or more a downward facing dog. So I want you to begin by placing your hands to the mat, spreading out through your fingers and finding a little grip into the fingertips, letting all corners of the palms connect to the mat and giving a little gentle pressure into the thumb and index finger knuckle. Now, as you tuck your toes into the mat, press the floor away from you and lift the hips higher. And what we want to do is find a triangle shape through the body. So as straight spine as possible, straight legs as possible. Don't worry if the heels are lifted. Hands are in line with your shoulders. The feet are in line with the hips. And let your neck relax so your ears are in line with the arms. Soften your belly. So as you soften your belly, you might notice the feeling of how it's lifting up to tuck under the ribs. Close your eyes. Return to a deep and long breath. If you're leaning into your hands, press into the hands. So gently shifting the weight towards or distributing the weight between the hands and the feet so the hips are softly pressing towards the back. Continue to breathe. Sat, Nam. Our mind likes to complain, especially when we feel challenged. So noticing if that's happening and guide it to focus on the mantra. Few more deep breaths. Now take a deep breath in. Stay in this shape as you exhale completely. Holding the breath out at the end of the exhale, apply Mula Bandha. Feel the lift of the pelvic floor, gentle activation. Belly sucked in and gaze to the third eye. Release the bandha, breathe in. And exhale, drop the knees to the mat, sit back to a child's pose. And if child's pose is not comfortable for you at this moment, if it doesn't feel like a resting pose, choose another one. So whether that's to lay on the back of your body or come back to a seat. Letting the body rest for a moment as you tune in and listen. Few more deep breaths. And start to slowly find your way up to a seat. So for the next practice, we're going to do the Sat Kriya. And the Sat Kriya is performed by sitting cross-legged comfortably. And we're going to bring the arms up over the head. Again, Kali Mudra, interlacing your fingers, index fingers pointing up, left thumb over right for women, right thumb over left for men. Now, we want to keep the arms straight. So we're going to try to keep them straight and in line with the ears. Notice if you're squeezing, let your shoulders relax so they're soft here. What we will do is chant verbally or loudly Sat Nam. And as we do this, we're going to perform a root lock and release. With Sat, we pull the root lock up, so the pelvic floor lifting, a powerful root lock, lower belly sucks in. And with Nam, we release and soften. So Sat, lift up, Nam, release. And this is going to cause a lift in the body. So Sat is going to lift it up. And this practice is a bit more challenging than we might think before starting it. And there's ways that the body can compensate when it feels too challenged. One way might be that it starts to lift the shoulders up and down. So it's going to look like Sat Nam, Sat Nam, Sat Nam. Just paying attention to if that happens to you, and try to bring the shoulders back into stillness and simply focusing on your pelvis or your pelvic floor and lower belly. Another way that the body can start to compensate is start to flex the spine back and forth, going Sat Nam, Sat Nam. And again, just paying attention to if that start to happen, just bring yourself back into center, into softness, and into length through the spine. So coming into position, ground through your sit bones, find more length through your spine. And close your eyes, lift your inner gaze to the third eye. And as we begin in a moment, No need to think about your breath. It's going to figure itself out. So just focusing on chanting Sat Nam. Start by taking a deep breath in, a full breath out, and breathe in to begin in a moment. Sat Nam, 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 Sat Nam. Take a deep breath in, hold your breath at the top. And as you hold your breath again, Mula Bandha, lift your pelvic floor, feel your lower belly suck in, lift the inner gaze to third eye. Hold the arms up as you exhale completely. Holding the breath out at the end of your exhale. Find Mula Bandha. And if you practice with bandhas, you might add Uddiyana and Jalandhar for Mahabandha. Release the bandhas, breathe in. And exhale, let your arms come down. Pause in stillness for just a moment here in your seat. And just feel the effects. You might feel a rush of energy through your arms into the fingers. Maybe the breath feels a bit more deep and expansive. We're going to take 2 minutes to rest. And choosing for you if you prefer to stay seated or if you come down to rest on your spine for a moment. Wherever you choose to be, allow yourself to be in stillness and in silence. Simply listening, being, integrating. Take a few more centering breaths. And if you're laying down, you can slowly start to find your way up to a seat. If you are seated and need to change your seat, shake your legs out, or switch the leg that was in the front, you go ahead and do that. To close our practice today, we're going to perform a 3-minute meditation called Har, Har, so Har, Har. And if a rolling R or a rolling R is not available to you because of your language, your accent, you can also do had, so HAD, and get the same effects, because we want the tip of the tongue to touch the roof of the mouth and stimulate a meridian up at the roof of the mouth. As we do this meditation, we're also going to, with the R or the D, pull the navel slightly in. So it's going to be har, 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 har. And this is a more soft movement than what we've done with the Kapalbhati breath. So just a gentle pulling in, har, 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 har. We're also going to use a mudra. So bringing your hands in front of you, and we're going to let the index fingers inside of the hands bounce together. The right thumb is going to be under the left as you do that. And that's one har. And then we have another har. So with the pinkies and sides of your hands touching. And we're going to start in this position, almost like you imagining your hands being a book that you want to read. And as you are here, you start to soften again through the sit bones, sinking into the seat. Take a breath in, length through the spine. And prepare to begin. Close your eyes, gaze to the third eye. Deep breath in. A sigh out. Breathe in to begin. Har, 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 har. Take a deep breath in and exhale, soften, let your arms come down. Pause for another moment, tune into the effects of this meditation, of this practice. The Har Har meditation is not only to stimulate our digestive system and the Manipura center, it's also said to increase prosperity, connection to our intuition, and to help us open up for a new beginning. Bring your hands back to heart center in prayer. Let your inner gaze fall into the heart, reconnecting to the intention you set at the beginning of our practice. And decide if you take your intention with you throughout the rest of your day. Toning out, we'll chant Sat Nam 3 times. Long Sat, short Nam. A deep breath in through the nose. A sigh out through the mouth. And breathe in to begin. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice. And I hope you feel the benefits already now. Always remember that it is a practice. And if digestive issues is something that you struggle with and you want this approach to see if you can help it balance, then try to do this practice a few times a week. I mean, optimally, maybe every day, but if that's not possible, at least 3 times a week, and see if a week or 2, and if it improves after that. As always, if you enjoy what I'm sharing, if you'd like to see more, please remember to like, subscribe, and share with your friends and loved ones if you think they might benefit from it as well. See you soon. Thank you.